Good morning, YouTube. How we doing today? Alan back once again, and I have another fidget spinner to review today. And this one, I guess, was pretty anticipated by quite a few people. This is a Vorso flat top clone that I picked up from Amazon. It's got a little bit of wobble to it, which is pretty typical for a bar spinner. It has a 606 hybrid ceramic bearing that is removable. But I'll show you that down at the tabletop. So what we'll do is we'll head on down there right now. We'll get up close and personal with this thing, and I'll give you my my thoughts on it. So let's head on down there right now. All right, this is how the Vorso flat top clone will come to you. I was a little less than impressed with this packaging. You see it just has a sticker on it with looks like a stamp, maybe like a rubber stamp. They stamped Fidget Doctor on the top of it, and it is just a plain old cardboard box that doesn't even stay together very well. Little disappointed in that. It does come with a nice velvet bag, which is, I guess they're trying to make up for it there. And it comes with also a hex head wrench along with a T wrench with a couple different ends on it for doing whatever. You only need the one, really, to work with this. So there is that. Now, I got this thing, and I was not as impressed as I was hoping that I would be. It is stainless steel. It is a polished stainless steel, so it is also a fingerprint magnet, big time. So there is that. It does have pretty decent table spin. It is rather loud, and there's really no getting around that. So, but it does have a pretty decent spin time. But this thing is definitely not without its flaws. And I had planned on taking this thing, totally breaking this thing down when I did the review for it, but I'm not going to do that just because how big of a pain in the rear end this thing is to get back together and get it straight and get it aligned as best as possible. Right now, it's still not perfectly true. You look at it, there is like a bit of a wobble in it. Doesn't affect it a whole lot, but this thing is so hard to put back together with these set screws and everything. I wish they would change this to just a solid piece with a R188 bearing or something that you could drop in, put a collar on, and throw your buttons on and run with it. That would be the way to go. I know the original Vorso flat top is this kind of style here, where you do have to put it in with the set screws and loosen those up, and you got to try and line this thing up, and it is just it's not worth the work you have to put into it to get this thing straight. I've messed with it a few times. I got it about as straight as I could possibly get it so that the thing will still spin. As you can see, there's a hybrid ceramic bearing there with the black ball bearings in it. It spins really nice for what it is. Fidget's really good as well, kind of like the tank and the Secret Service spinner. It does have that kind of a shape to it, a little bit thicker, obviously, but it is just a bear to try and get this thing straight. And so I must say that I am less than impressed with it. I really wish it was just a single solid piece that you put in an R188 or whatever kind of bearing, and then put your caps on and run with it, and the thing would be perfectly straight, and I think everybody would be happy with it that way. But this one here, you got to put some time and effort into this thing to get it straight, and to me that's just a bummer. I'd rather just be able to grab it and go and change bearings real quick if I needed to, rather than having to totally tear this thing down. So, but it does spin pretty nice. I mean, it balances pretty nice. The caps are decent. They're not concave, but they're more recessed in a couple of different steps, as you see. Kind of steps down. Try and get her to focus for you. There you go. As you can see. So nothing real super awesome about the caps. It does balance pretty well. No issues there. flicks pretty well. It's not an issue flicking it, or either way. But the bearing does have a tendency to shift after a while, so you do got to keep an eye on that. Yeah, it is what it is. I'm not thoroughly impressed with it. Get you a weight on it. I'm guessing probably 60 grams, 50 grams. I don't know, something like that. It's not too obnoxiously heavy. I'm sure it probably falls in my comfort range. 50 to 75. We'll see where it's at. 59.8. So just shy of 60 grams. So it's got a little weight to it. It's nice. It's certainly not quiet. You can definitely hear it. You get a little bit of wobble. You get that kind of that loss of momentum feel that you get with most bar spinners with this one. So that in itself means I'm not superly, not a word. Anyway, I'm not super impressed with it. So I know a lot of people were looking forward to this review. I was too, actually. Too bad I was a little bit more disappointed than anything else with it. But yeah, so what we'll do now is we'll take this thing outside. I'll let you see what it looks like when it warps, which is actually pretty cool. And then I'll come back and I'll give you my final thoughts. So stay tuned and we'll head outside. All right, here is my final thoughts on this Vorso flat top clone. I think for the money, you're better off, maybe getting something that you're not going to have to monkey with as much. This one is it just seems to be a lot of work to get it to spin decently and really get any enjoyment out of it. It's hard to get the bearings straight. It's just, it's a headache to me. If they found a way to put a regular bearing in this thing with some kind of a locking system without having to use the set screws, I think it would definitely help this spinner out quite a bit. Because other than that, it's really a very nice spinner. It's nice and small, and of course small spinners are really pushing forward in this industry. So with this one in particular, I would suggest maybe looking somewhere else. I don't think I would buy this again if given the chance. So that's kind of my thoughts on it. So I hope you appreciate the honest review. Do me a favor, hit that like button down below. If you really feel the need to get one, I'll leave a link in the description where you can go pick one up. And also, if you can, there's a subscription button here. Hit that real quick for me and subscribe to my channel. I appreciate that. Check out one of my other videos on this side. And until next time, next video, keep calm, spin on, peace.